The Miami Dolphins this offseason had to get ready to prepare themselves for an even better year next season. We saw this Dolphins team be one of the best offenses in the league last year, but weren't able to make it past the first round. In early December, everything seemed to be falling into place for Miami. With a 9-3 record, they appeared to be ready to clinch the AFC East. However, losing 3 of their last 5 regular season games and ending up not winning the divisional resulted in an ugly road playoff defeat to the Kansas City Chiefs in a brutally cold wild card game. We all know how cold that game was. It put up record numbers for how cold it was. What was it, like -30 wind chill? Last season, the Dolphins really struggled against teams over 500, and that loss in the wild card didn't help at all what the media was already saying about this team. But they did upgrade their roster a ton this offseason and during the draft and by signing free agents. The Miami Dolphins general manager experienced firsthand in 2023 how a weakened pass rush can derail an entire season. The team lost its top 3 pass rushers Jalen Phillips, Bradley Chubb, and Andrew Van Ginkel to season-ending injuries. In response to all those injuries, he used his first-round pick since 2021 to select Penn State pass rusher Top Robinson at number 21 overall in the draft. Robinson's impressive physical abilities invite comparisons to another recent Penn State pass rusher, that being Micah Parsons from the Cowboys. Robinson clocked a 4.48 in the 40-yard dash, the second fastest time amongst his position group in this year's draft. Despite his athleticism, Robinson recorded only 11.5 sacks in 3 college seasons at Penn State and Maryland. He addressed his lower production immediately after being selected. Miami's coaching staff and front office believe they can resolve Robinson's inconsistencies, and when they do, his physical traits will make him a formidable player in the league. The Dolphins also value his 18% pressure rate, which ranked 6th in FBS last season, more than his actual sack numbers. Robinson joins a pass rush rotation which includes Phillips, Chubb, and offseason acquisition Shaquil Barrett. Both Phillips and Chubb suffered from season-ending injuries last season, and the Dolphins have not disclosed whether either will be ready for the start of the 2024 season. So Chop Robinson will immediately go into this pass rush and make it better. Phillips and Chubb have reached out to Robinson to welcome him to the team, and he looks forward to joining what he calls a great situation in Miami. He added that although he hasn't spent much time with the Dolphins' first-year defensive coordinator Anthony Weaver, there are similarities between how he was used at Penn State and how he believes Weaver will run his defense this season. Robinson ranked 40th on the PFF big board. He might be considered a bit of a reach, but his potential is undeniable. He combines power and speed in his pass rush game and earned a 93.9 pass rush grade over the past 2 seasons. He was ranked 2nd among FBS edge rushers. Miami's edge group could become a dominant unit if Robinson reaches his potential and Bradley Chubb and Jalen Phillips recover from their injuries. Robinson is an exceptional athlete, capable of making jaw-dropping plays by firing off the line and penetrating the backfield with ease. Chop Robinson has a ton of potential and will be able to join an elite pass rush and immediately help them elevate. That was very important for the front office going into the offseason, was to make sure they could strengthen the offensive line. Keeping the offense intact by extending Waddle and bringing in a veteran like OBJ was another top priority for this offense. Tyreek Hill and Tua found a lot of success together last season, as Tyreek went on to almost have one of the best receiver seasons in NFL history before missing some games with injuries. Like I mentioned, the Dolphins this offseason signed Odell Beckham Jr., which a lot of people weren't expecting at all. Beckham is 31, and he's set to join his 5th team after joining previously the Rams, the Ravens, Browns, and New York Giants, who drafted him 12th overall in 2014. He won a Super Bowl with the Rams during the 2021-2022 season. Beckham will join a Dolphins receiving core that includes last year's receiving yards leader Tyreek Hill. Hill and Waddle combined for 2,813 yards in 2023, the most by any wide receiver duo in the NFL. But Miami has had depth concerns at the position beyond these two. Last season with the Ravens, Beckham recorded 35 catches for 565 yards and 3 touchdowns before being cut by the Ravens in March. He did have a visit with the Dolphins earlier in the offseason and received an offer. It was said he signed for 1 year worth up to $8.25 million. Do you think they overpaid for him? We haven't seen OBJ produce highly in some time now, so honestly it's hard to say what he's going to go out there and do, but it's exciting to be able to see him with a new team and playing with Tua, giving him another talented weapon. Beckham's 4,122 receiving yards still ranked 3rd in NFL history for a player's first 3 seasons, but injuries have have hindered what was once a promising career. He missed the entire 2022 season after tearing his ACL in Super Bowl 56 and was only acquired 1,421 receiving yards since 2020. While he may no longer be the standout player he was with the New York Giants, Beckham remains skilled enough to serve as a third option on a team with playmakers. If he stays healthy, he could take advantage of defenses focusing on Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and running backs Raheem Mostert and Devon Achane. Like I mentioned, Beckham recorded 565 yards and 3 touchdowns on 35 catches. While that's not the most attention-grabbing stats given his 2023 price tag, this is still better than the production of Miami. For Beckham to reach his maximum performance incentives in 2024, he would need to achieve at least 55 receptions, 800 receiving yards, and 6 touchdowns. Beckham received a $1.79 million signing bonus and a fully guaranteed salary of $1.21 million, totaling $3 million in base pay. To activate any of the incentives, the Dolphins must finish in the top 20 in NFL scoring, which shouldn't be a problem considering Miami ranks 6th and 1st in scoring over the past 2 seasons. This just gives OBJ another reason to strive with this offense and go out there and try to do what he can to get open and to tag on some more yards. He will be able to help out Tua a ton, giving him another option, but also throwing off defenses. The Miami Dolphins have also secured a new edge rusher as well, signing former Tampa Bay Buccaneers Pro Bowler Shaq Barrett to a 1-year deal worth up to $9 million. The Dolphins were in need of edge rushing help under new defensive coordinator Anthony Weaver. Miami lost both Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb, like I've been saying, to major injuries late last season. We also saw Andrew Van Ginkel leave in free agency to the Minnesota Vikings. Barrett was released earlier this offseason as a cap casualty, is now 31 years old and several years past his physical prime. His sack totals have dropped to just 3 in 8 games and 4.5 in 16 games over the last 2 seasons, after recording a leading 19.5 sacks in 2019, a season during which he was named both a Pro Bowler and second-team All-Pro, finishing 4th in Defensive Player of the Year voting. He followed up with 8 sacks in 2020 and 10 in 2021, so we've just seen a decline. While Barrett may no longer be in his prime, he can still contribute as a rotational rusher. Weaver, known for still has plenty left in the tank and to make the Buccaneers regret releasing him. Meanwhile, standout defensive tackle Christian Wilkins has signed with the Las Vegas Raiders, and Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb, who are former Broncos teammates of Barrett, is still unknown when they will return from their season-ending injuries. The Dolphins are hopeful that Barrett can regain his form from just a few seasons ago. The Dolphins, like I mentioned, have a very elite pass rush and overall have a solid defense that, when healthy, is able to compete with some of the best offenses. And then the other way around, they still have one of the best offenses in the entire league. Last season, towards the end of it, we saw a lot of inconsistencies with this team, but hopefully this offseason, they have been preparing for what they can accomplish next year and win the division. They still have one of, if not the fastest offense in the NFL, and made it even deeper by adding a veteran talent like OBJ. If you haven't already, make sure you go down below and you subscribe and you turn on the notification bell so you never miss a Dolphins video or any video at all. Comment down below what you're looking forward to next season. Make sure you leave a like as well. I'll see y'all in the next one.